Good morning. I'm Erin Brinker. All right.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
There we go.
Hey, okay.
We are on the brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and 102.3. This is what you love, sticky buttons on a Monday morning.
Yes. I'm not a fan of Mondays to begin with. But this seems to be a recurring theme.
We'll call it Sticky Monday.
Yeah, right?
So excited to have you with us this morning. It is bright and early. Brand spanking early? It is. No, not working. It is so early. My brain is not working. So it's gorgeous out there. This weekend, yesterday was absolutely perfect.
Both days were really.
Yeah.
I spent Saturday at the Oktoberfest that was put on by the Optimist Club in Redlands, and I really loved it. The weather was perfect. Great food, drink, music. Just had a lot of fun. Ran into a bunch of old friends. Yeah.
I was doing our taxes.
Well, Erin, somebody has to work in this house. Certainly going to be me.
This is what happens, when you file an extension and then you kind of don't think about it until all of a sudden it's October and you're thinking, whoops, I need to do our taxes. So that's what I was doing. But Sunday we were out and about.
We were.
And it was really, really nice on Sunday. We actually, I have a new battery for my iPhone. And I have to tell you, that is so exciting for me because my phone was not holding a charge at all.
You got caught up in that thing where the batteries were not working, and then they put out that thing where they said they'd get you a free battery.
Yes.
But you never were able to get in to do it because the lines were so long and the waiting period was so long. And so here we are months later, and you finally
Yes.
got your new battery.
The only place I could get an appointment was at Best Buy, but then they had to send the phone out. Well, no, because this is my business phone. It's the only phone I have. And so, no, you can't do that. And so I had to wait until I could get an appointment at the Apple Store. And so we were at Victoria Gardens yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was good. We met a friend, and, while we were waiting for my phone, because instead of being sent out for a couple days, it was sent out for an hour. So we went over to the Starbucks that's 2 doors down, and they had outdoor seating, and it was gorgeous.
And the Apple Store was great. I mean, they were so quick and easy to use, and the young lady who assisted you was phenomenal.
Yeah, Ashley Marquez, I'm going to give you a shout out. She's a Kappa Delta from Cal State San Bernardino, psychology major, she said. Mm-hmm. So she gave us the best service. So if you work at that Apple Store, let Ashley know, or Ashley, if you're listening, that we really appreciate the great service that you gave us. She was super friendly, super quick. It was great. And then the gentleman who helped us check out, I didn't catch his name because he was with us such a short amount of time. He was also really good. And the store was absolutely packed. So, yeah, absolutely packed. So the big news of the weekend was this fake story about, Facebook accounts being hacked or cloned or whatever. And I don't know if you all were on Facebook this weekend, but everybody's posting, don't accept a friend request from me, blah, 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 including me, because I had somebody whom I trust reach out to me and say, hey, I saw a duplicate account for you. I want to let you know. And so then I posted, hey, I just got word. And everybody said, no, you didn't. And it's like, okay, so the meme was, or the prankster or the hoaxer or whatever was, I don't know how he was doing it, or the group of them were doing it, but it was super frustrating.
It's just a viral message that they're getting people to forward on to their other friends because they think it'll. But
mine didn't come like that. Mine was from somebody I trust. Hey, I wanted to let you know, and it wasn't one of those like form emails, because I ignore those. Yeah. The ones just hit forward or what. No, I'm not doing that. Don't send me any chain mail. Don't send me any. I don't pay attention to those things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got it from about a half dozen people or more.
Did you really?
I did, and my response was to try to tell people, instead of posting it on my Facebook page, I was going to try to send a private message to everyone, and instead I ended up starting a massive group chat that had like a couple hundred people in it, and everyone's like, why did you start this chat, Tobin? And I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? And, not really understanding what I had done. It took me a while to undo the giant group chat.
So Facebook developers need to create a BCC feature for their messenger. So that like a blind CC. So when you send a large group email through email, you can blind CC every name on the list, right?
Yeah.
And maybe just put your name in the to list, and that means that every email is individual, as opposed to being a blasted email that somebody hits reply, they're hitting everybody.
Yeah.
And Messenger needs the same thing.
Yeah. Because once you've got a large group like that, it becomes chaos very quickly.
Very quickly, and it's frustrating. People don't like it, including me.
Yeah, because then your phone is just blowing up every 2 seconds as different people are responding to. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that people checking their Facebook on their watches. I have the ability to do that on my watch, but my arm was buzzing constantly.
Yeah.
So
right.
I disabled email and Facebook on my watch because I don't want my arm buzzing constantly. It's really irritating.
No, I'm with you. I had that disabled as well. Yeah, so the craziness of Facebook this weekend, right?
Yeah, but that was like the biggest story. That and of course Kavanaugh. I guess Kavanaugh is the biggest story. He was confirmed, which is not surprising given how the continued FBI investigation went.
And people are still going nutso. And the whole thing has just been a big political drama designed by both parties to maximize turnout in November. More so than anything, I think, at this point.
Really?
Yeah, I mean...
How can you say both parties, though?
Well, I think the Republicans realized that this would fire up their base as well, that they could point to the craziness of the Democrats to say, you don't want these guys in charge. And the Supreme Court, for better or worse, is really why a lot of people that were on the fence about Donald Trump, who really don't like Donald Trump, voted for him, is because they thought... at least with Donald Trump, we've got a chance of getting good judges. With Hillary, we know we'll never get a conservative judge.
Right.
And Donald Trump, understanding that, has given the exact kind of judges that most mainline, normal Republicans want. And the Democrats, acting as crazy as they have, and so vicious as they have confirmed for all those mainline Republicans who really don't like Donald Trump personally, who really cannot stand his behavior and some of the issues that he's championed, are still finding themselves very much in support of him and in support of Republicans in general, because the Democrats have presented such an ugly contrast.
They have, to the point of, doxing senators.
Yeah.
So that, people could show up at their home or deliver whatever to them.
Ricin, what?
Yeah, that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, that's... people, the senators have families.
Yeah, but we did just, I mentioned Ricin because we just last week had those letters that were sent to the president and the Senate or whatever. Somebody sent letters.
That's true. They did.
Yeah.
And those are still under investigation. They don't know the source of those yet.
No, they did. They caught the guy.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that when I was show prepping.
Yeah.
Well, and did he have a political bent, or was he just a crazy person?
Just a crazy person, I think. I didn't read the whole article. I just saw that they caught the guy. And yeah.
Well, I have to say, one person said online there were 40 credible witnesses, that corroborating witnesses that could support the claims of the women who said that they were assaulted by Brett Kavanaugh. No, there weren't.
No. These are secondhand people. These are people who heard from a person who heard from a person who heard from a person.
And this is high school. So like I was talking to my best friend and my best friend's sisters, cousins, whatever.
It's 36-something years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so those kinds of memories are certainly not reliable because they weren't the one involved in the event. And so they're going to say to I vaguely remember her saying something about something with, whatever, And so the FBI doesn't investigate those people. They want firsthand, reliable sources, people who were said to be in the room at the location who would have known directly that something happened.
Right, and not necessarily in the room when the assault took place, but at the, somebody who could have, if her best friend had been able to say, yes, after that happened, we talked all night, it was a thing, whatever, that would be a credible witness.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. So, there's a reason why hearsay is not allowed in court.
Yeah.
I mean, it's... And as far as a job interview, I'm tired of people saying that this was a job interview. It wasn't a job interview. Have you been interviewed like that before?
No.
Where they can ask about how much beer you drank when you were in college?
No.
when you're in your 50s?
Yeah.
You know, and another person was saying that, oh, Kavanaugh's life isn't ruined. Yes, he did make the court, but half the country thinks now that he is an angry, drunken rapist.
Yes.
You know, and there's no proof for any of that.
Yeah. And sadly, 30 years from now, that will be people's memories. I remember, and they'll act as if they were there, and then it all happened to them.
Right, right, and that's the craziest part about it.
Yeah.
People internalizing and saying, "I was sexually assaulted," and you're saying that that didn't happen. No, we're not. We don't even know you. You didn't have anything to do with any of the people that were in this case.
Yeah.
This isn't about you.
Yes.
I mean, are we really that narcissistic?
Yes. Apparently we are. And you know, that's what I think is most disturbing for me about the way the Democrats have approached this, is that they have fed that beast of these women and trying to make this personal for these women to get them to turn out and vote for them, willing to re-traumatize these women, willing to amplify these horrible experiences these women have had in a way not designed to heal them or to help them, but in a way that's designed purely to activate them as voters,
right,
and as spokespeople, so that they will go on their social media and tell all of their friends, don't vote for these people, vote for these other people instead. And that's the despicableness that I think a lot of Republicans are looking at and going, well, hold on, you know, don't you see that none of this is it's not connected like that?
No.
You know,
and I believe that. Well, and we've talked about this. The number of women who have had some sort of sexual assault in their life is very high.
Yeah.
And we need to have a conversation about that. But that has nothing to do with whether or not, in this case, Brett Kavanaugh was guilty.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's the rule of law goes out the window if that's the case.
Yeah.
You know, it really does. So with that, let's take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
Visit your local Baker's drive-thru restaurant this month and get an Easter Seals Safe Halloween booklet for just $1. You'll receive over $400 in coupons and make a life-changing difference in the lives of kids and adults with disabilities in the Inland Empire. 100% of the proceeds support Easter Seals services in your community. No trick. Learn more at easterseals.com/Southern Cal.
The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is serving up some really cool ice cream at La Micho Acana. Then get your chocolates and other delights from C's Candies. Moms and future moms who visit the mall can cool off and relax while they get treated like royalty at Shiny Nails or Francis Nails and then pampered at Texture Hair. The Tri-City Center is filled with retailers who care about you. Shop at the Tri-City Center in Redlands and see why they call it the Mall with a Heart.
Exploring science in the sea. For some, getting away from it all might mean a trip to the South Pacific, some delightful tropical island far from the cares of everyday life. But really getting away from it all means going to a point in the South Pacific where there are no islands within almost 1,700 miles. It's the point on the globe that's farthest from any land, known as Point Nemo. It was first calculated in 1992 with the help of computers and GPS satellites. It's precisely 1,670 miles from 3 islands: Ducie Island, a member of the remote Pitcairn Islands; Motunui, a member of the Easter Island chain off the coast of South America; and Mar Island off the coast of Antarctica. The spot was named after Captain Nemo from Jules Verne's classic novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Nemo sought solitude in the ocean depths aboard his submarine, the Nautilus. Not much lives at Point Nemo. Ocean currents prevent nutrients from coming to the surface, so there's little to sustain life, and not many ships cross the region either. That's just as well, because the region is a dumping ground for dead spacecraft. To keep them from possibly hitting inhabited regions, space agencies aim them toward the area around Point Nemo. About 260 craft have been targeted there in the last 45 years. Most of a spacecraft burns up as it enters the atmosphere. but some big pieces can survive and hit the ocean. When they sink to the bottom, they may form habitats for bottom-dwelling life out in the middle of nowhere. Science in the Sea is available as a weekly podcast at scienceinthesea.org. I'm Holly Brawley.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So, Tobin, you found an article about why hoaxes spread so fast on Facebook.
Right, and it totally fits with what we were just talking about. People, I hate to say it, but people are just gullible, right? And there's a lot of reasons why people get sucked in. And this particular one starts with one of the fake ones that started during the Kavanaugh hearings, right? And they have a picture of Brett Kavanaugh from his yearbook when he was 17 next to a picture that they have labeled as Christina Ford at 15. And it's a picture of a very unattractive girl with big glasses and braces and just designed to portray her as not desirable, right? Well, it turns out that that's not a picture of Christine Blasey Ford. It's an old meme picture that's been floating around out there that's been used in a lot of different memes. But a lot of people saw this, and it plays into something called confirmation bias, where people like, see, I know it couldn't be true because there's no way he would go after a girl. Good-looking guy wouldn't go after a girl like that, right? And of course, Snopes has debunked this on their page. But the question is, why do hoaxes spread so fast on Facebook? And there's a couple of things that they've found out through research. Here's the first one. Fake stories, Aaron, reach people quicker than the truth. And that fits in with that old saying, right? A lie travels around the world before the truth is even out of bed or something like that.
Yes.
And it actually found out that a truth took about 6 times as long as a falsehood to reach 1,500 people on Facebook or on social media.
And this MIT study, because this was from the study from MIT, Sinan Errol with MIT wrote in the study, according to NBC News, that maybe because false information is more surprising than the truth.
Yes, and people are much more likely to share lies and false information, and so this is a big thing. So when things pop up, you really have to kind of ask yourself, is this true? Is this true? I mean, that should always be your first question. Would you agree, fellow Rotarian?
And people don't check. Yes, I would. Is it the truth? Yes. Is it fair to all concerned? Yes. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And that's the four-way test for Rotary.
The four-way test for Rotary. And so we need to start with that with everything we look at online. Let's just put that out there, right? And so number 2, people don't check it before they're sharing it, Aaron. They see the headline. It speaks to them and what they believe. They have that confirmation bias, and they hit that button to share it. They want everyone to see because it reaffirms what they believe, and they haven't even read it oftentimes.
No, it's just a headline.
Yeah.
Most people, I'm convinced that most people don't read the stories they share on Facebook.
Yeah. And then number 3 is what we've been talking about, this confirmation bias, right? Our brain is already wired to buy into things that we've already believe. Right, so if we believe that Kavanaugh is telling the truth and that she's lying, then if we see memes or posts that support that, we're just going to share them, even if the facts don't back us up, right? And we're kind of immune to the facts in a lot of ways, which gets us to number 4. The more we see something, the more we are going to believe it, which is why, and I think you pointed out this morning, as we were getting ready to come in this morning, there are a whole bunch of different Democratic outlets that are just flooding the internet with a whole bunch of anti-Kavanaugh stuff because they understand that the more times they can put this stuff in front of you, the more people will believe it.
Yep.
Right? And so they've got a whole bunch of these different outlets all just trying to make sure your page is covered with that stuff. Right? And then number 5, information overload handcuffs fact checking. So you see something, but you're scrolling on your social media, and you see 5 things, 10 things, 20 things, and it's too much for you to stop and check every one, right? There's just too many stories, but your radar's going beep, beep, beep. I'm not sure that's true, but you can't stop and do the research on each one. And so you just keep scrolling, and the confirmation bias, the more that you see something, it feeds into your psyche, and you become stuck. You become that person who is now willing to accept these lies as the truth.
And it's interesting too, because Facebook has, talked about changing their algorithms to manipulate what you see. They've done experiments that way. And so I've noticed, and even today it's happening, today meaning the present day, not necessarily at this moment, because I'm not scrolling Facebook right now, but I see, the same kinds of posts appearing on my page. Now I have a diverse a set of friends on Facebook. And so I from that, I should see left wing and right wing and, moderate and puppies and kittens and things like that.
Yes.
But I'll log on and then everything is super left wing. And then I'll log on later in the day and everything is super right wing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so, what's happening here, Facebook?
Well, here's the thing. I've upset so many people on the left and the right with my various wild rants that I think Facebook has now put me into a very small box of people who don't get to see either side. They don't want me to see any of it now because I'm just too wild. So
is that true?
I don't know. I'm kind of riffing here. No, I feel like though, like I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the way that what ends up in my feed. I'm really not. And so I find myself often sort of sitting there thinking, I need to go look at this person's page or this other type of, and I go search them because I want a different perspective. I feel like I'm seeing too much of one or too much of the other, and so I kind of have to push the pause button for myself and then think to myself, what friends do I have that would be on the opposite side of this, and go spend a few minutes looking at what they're posting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
To try to balance it out a little bit because I feel like whatever their algorithm is, it's not working for me.
Yeah. Well, and yes.
I feel manipulated. There's the word.
Well, you are manipulated. We all are, and that's part of the problem, right? I mean, people aren't stupid. The people who are putting the false stories out, some of them just want to yell fire in a crowded room and see what happens.
Yeah.
And other people are doing it because they're trying to manipulate public opinion, and they're being pretty smart about it.
Yeah. Now the ones that have been driving me crazy are the really bad Photoshop ones, where they take a picture of, and I've seen quite a few of Justice Ginsburg, as well as Kavanaugh and other people, and they take their face and they put it on somebody else, and a lot of them are so poorly done.
Yes.
And actually, I guess I'm grateful the ones that are poorly done because then it's so obviously a fake and you can just kind of ignore it. I worry about the ones that are a little more professional and maybe you're not sure, and there are a lot of gullible people out there who will look at them and think, oh my God, look, there's a picture of them doing this or that.
Well, like the picture of Trump in a boat helping flood victims when he was wearing a suit. It was so obviously not Trump.
Yeah.
That one was actually pretty cleverly done.
Yeah.
Except that you just know that Trump wouldn't do that. And of course it wasn't real. It was a total fake.
No, of course. And this is the world we're living in right now, though, is that it's this kind of craziness is out there, and it feels like there's a significant number of people who just buy into it.
So let me remind everyone that we have movies that can make you believe that dinosaurs are alive. Mm-hmm. And I understand that they have big budgets and all of that, but there are people out there who know how to manipulate what you see. So it's not just what you read, but it's also what you see. Please use discernment. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that because those big budget movies actually made a lot of that technology cheaper and more available. So now there are folks who have sort of home versions of that software and can create some pretty darn realistic stuff.
Yes. They can make you believe that Forrest Gump was at all of these, big historical, and this was from 20 years ago, historical events.
Yes.
Historic events. So, just don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you read. Yeah, just saying. So with that, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Carter. Police and the NTSB searching for answers after a weekend limo crash leaves 20 people dead in upstate New York.
The question everyone here is asking, how did an SUV limousine headed to a birthday party on Saturday plow through this intersection, taking the lives of 20 people?
NBC's Tom Costello in New York. Police say 18 died in the limo and 2 pedestrians were also killed. Tropical Storm Michael is prompting a hurricane watch for Florida's Panhandle and Big Bend regions. Michael's forecast to be near or at major hurricane strength when it reaches the northeastern Gulf tomorrow night and Wednesday. Senator Susan Collins is elaborating on why she voted to confirm Justice Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. Speaking yesterday, the Maine Republican said she believed that Dr. Christine Blasey Ford was sexually assaulted by someone, but Collins isn't convinced it was Kavanaugh. Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio.
It's time for traffic on KCAA. I'm Erin Brinker. In Summerhill on the Highway 79, both northbound and southbound from Anza Road to Butterfield Stage Road, there's a traffic alert. A wreck has all lanes closed in both directions because of a down power pole. In Ranch Cucamonga on the 210 westbound before Carnelian, a 2-car crash is on the right shoulder. Slow traffic is backed up from Milliken Avenue. In Fontana on the 10 westbound before Sierra, a crash is now in the center divider. And in Ontario on the 15 southbound at Harupa, an off-ramp is blocked. This has been your traffic report on KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Alvin Washington. Sunny and windy this Columbus Day, a high of 80. Cloudy, some late fog this evening, low 56, still strong winds. Patchy fog, reach your Tuesday commute, then sunshine, a high of 80. I'm Alvin Washington, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center at the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California, KCAA, 102.3 FM, Riverside, 106.5 FM, Redlands, and The Legacy, 1050 AM, Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Look around your office. Is it time to change things up? Start a new home office or reorganize your professional office space? Visit Office Furniture Outlet in Corona and you'll feel great. With a huge inventory of both new and pre-owned office furniture, you can buy, sell, or even trade to get the job done. Office Furniture Outlet in Corona will get you looking and feeling good, and that simply means success and great business results. From executive office collections to home office options, you can find exactly what you need at an affordable price. Office Furniture Outlet. They have desk selections that range from modern and contemporary to traditional and elegant. With a large selection of sizes, finishes, and styles, you can design an office just the way you need it. An office you can be proud of. The Office Furniture Outlet in Corona is just south of the 91 freeway in McKinley at 284 DuPont Street, or visit OFOUSA.com. That's OFOUSA.com for the Office Furniture Outlet in Corona today. This election, the voters in the 42nd Assembly District have an amazing chance to finally be represented in Sacramento by someone who listens and cares.
I'm Denny Antoinette Mazingo. Vote for me November 6th.
Denny will reach across the aisle to work with the majority in Sacramento and give voters the voice they've been waiting for and need.
I will advocate and fight for universal health care, a path from college to career free of debt, a healthy business environment with abundant well-paying jobs, affordable housing for all, safe schools and communities, a transition program for 18-year-old foster care children. Seniors have to choose monthly on what life necessities they can afford, and we're going to change that.
Denny's a former military lawyer, a JAG. She will fight for you in Sacramento. Google Denny, D-E-N-I.
I'm Denny Antoinette Mazingo. I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Denny Antoinette Mazingo.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. We are joined again by Marcel Saucé. He's a professor he's a research associate at the University of San Diego. He holds a PhD in management with honors from the University of Nice. That's in France. He is French. He's a disruptive speaker. He gave many conferences in the most prestigious places in the world, the UN, Harvard University of Southern California, Essex Business School, Western Sydney University, and more. He's worked during his career with Thierry Mugler, Intel, BNP, Nestle, Credit Agricole, Clarins, and Billabong. Forgive any mispronunciations. His multi-profile allowed him to show real case studies in the business world, getting significant results for his clients' sake. He wrote a book in 2015 called Street Marketing, The Future of Guerrilla Marketing and Buzz, and he is here today to talk to us about guerrilla marketing. Marcel, welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to hear so many great things. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a little ego boost, in the morning or in the afternoon, because you're in France now, aren't you?
Yes, I just come back from Saudi. It was a business trip, and it was great to be there, actually.
How was the weather?
The weather was pretty hot and pretty warm. But a lot of things are going on in Saudi. The son of the king opens the kingdom, so it's really great to be there now. A lot of things have changed a lot.
Oh, that's good. I know women can drive now.
Yeah, exactly. Women can drive, and also you have in Riyadh, the capital, you have maybe now 20-25% of the women who are not wearing any scarf or any cover.
Really?
And religious police has been cancelled, has been removed. So for giving you an example, 2 years ago, you had to drink with a lady in a coffee. If you were not married, the religious police could arrest you, even if you are a foreigner. Now, it does not exist anymore, in only 2 years.
Wow. Well, so they're really courting some outside dollars then. They want people to come in and visit Saudi Arabia and spend their money.
Yes, exactly, because you know that when somebody is doing so great moves and big moves, he has a business idea behind it. Because if now women are going out and can show their face, what are they going to do? They can drive, so they will go to a shopping center, to the mall, and they will buy makeup because they can show their makeup now, etc., etc. So there will be a huge boom of the business in Saudi. This is my business personal opinion.
No, I am absolutely in agreement with you. So tell us a little bit, especially thinking about Saudi Arabia, what is guerrilla marketing and how can data make your marketing stronger?
So basically, I was in Saudi actually for a giant campaign about data collection and guerrilla marketing. So you remember that I talked in your show a couple of weeks ago about artificial intelligence, right?
Yes.
And what I told you that basically an artificial intelligence today is something, it's an algorithm which needs a giant quantity of data, right? The problem is that if we have a lot of options to collect data, when you are sending me a text through WhatsApp, Messenger, email, Gmail, Facebook, etc., they are going to collect your data. So they are going to track our words, they are going to track everything. The thing is that now companies need other ways to collect data. And how can we collect data? Where can we collect data outside of our home, outside of our cell phone in our home? We need to use new ideas for collecting data. This is how guerrilla marketing is coming up. Guerrilla marketing is a new kind of marketing which allows companies to collect data everywhere because it's creative. And when it's creative, you are going to leave easily data. Let me give you a couple of figures and then an example. Do you know how many advertisements you come across every day?
Oh, gosh.
How many brands you see every day?
More than I can count.
Okay, in a city like LA or New York or Dubai, you come across 6,000 brands per day.
Wow.
Around 1 million per year. Impossible to remember everything. The idea of guerrilla marketing is just using a lot of creativity in a mall, in the street, on a car, everywhere to surprise you And when you are surprised, you are going to leave easily data. An example, have you heard about this advertisement? It was written on the top of a bus, don't jump, go on careerbuilder.com.
No.
No, you never saw it?
I
so
did
just
not.
Go online, Google my name, so say, without the T, and careerbuilder.com, and you will see that basically we are telling people on the top of the bus, we are targeting managers, okay, do not jump from your building, do not kill yourself, to go on careerbuilder.com and find a new website. You lost. And find a new career, a new job on our website. And basically, you lost. So if you lost, now you want to go there. You want to click on this link, and you are going to leave data, etc., etc.
Wow. That's clever.
And another example, Erin, if you allow me, really simple. We have done operations for Faces, or I can give you the example of Jimmy Choo, because you know that I run an advertising agency. Jimmy Choo left some bags in the street, and the idea, of course the bags were empty. The idea was just taking a picture of you with a bag, and you could win a Jimmy Choo pair of shoes online, leaving information, because you are going to tag Jimmy Choo, you are going to take a selfie with a Jimmy Choo empty bag, etc., etc. It's like Pokemon Go. I can give you a lot of examples. The idea is tracking you everywhere with funny guerrilla marketing ideas.
So one thing that that cities are doing is that they can use facial recognition software in some of their the cameras that are out and about. Especially in the UK where there are cameras everywhere. Are we going to start seeing marketers doing the same? Like they can see you looking at their billboard and your facial and how you react, and using that data.
It's totally possible. For example, I told you that 3 or 4 weeks ago I was in China. I gave a couple of conferences there. And there it's not possible anymore to use your horn, in your car. Your klaxon, I would say in France. So you cannot use your horn. And in the car, if you are using it, the police is going to scan your plate. And the police knows exactly where you are. So it's, again, a way to collect information that can be done by a government, that can be done by a company, that can be done with or through facial recognition, but it can be also super simple. I remember that a couple of years ago we did an operation in Paris during the Fashion Week. It was for the brand Zadig et Voltaire. It's a fashion brand. And what we did, we just put, hangers. Zadig et Voltaire is a fashion brand, so they are selling clothes. And we just put hangers all around the Fashion Week with a sticker, and this sticker had a QR code. And when you did a QR code, the sticker, which was on the hanger, you could go directly to a website. And when you were on the website, you needed to leave information and data about yourself for maybe winning something. So you see, you don't need a huge technology. The thing that you need to do is surprising people and collect their information. And this is how you're going to feed artificial intelligence.
Wow. Now, let's, and perhaps this is so new, there's no way to know, but what's the impact on people to be constantly marketed to, where, I'm still grappling, I'm still dealing with that number of 1 million brands a year. At what point have people reached overload and they no longer see it?
So you got a point, because right now companies are using a new way of guerrilla marketing. It's a secret, a stealth marketing action. It's called stealth marketing, because consumers, you, me, etc., everybody, we are surrounded by so many advertisements that right now we are tired even by the surprises. So what is stealth marketing? Stealth marketing is a way for companies to let you believe that the advertisement that they are showing you is not an advertisement. Example, you're in New York, in Times Square, we're together, okay, and suddenly a tourist is asking us to take him in picture. You have the global picture. We're just walking by the street. We're on Times Square. Somebody's asking us to take a picture. We're taking the picture with his cell phone. And after that, he's telling us, oh, can you retake a picture, please? I would like this, that, etc. Okay, we retake a picture. We manipulate the new product. Goodbye, have a nice day. This operation was a real operation for Sony Ericsson. They paid fake tourists to let people targeted, pre-selected, to use the new Sony Ericsson cell phone using the camera and also manipulating the product. It was an advertisement, and the consumer did not get it.
Oh my gosh! So they didn't realize that the guy wanting the picture taken was actually a salesperson from Sony trying to show off his merchandise.
Exactly.
Wow.
And you have a really good movie made by friend Derek Bort. We are working together on this thing, stealth marketing, The Joneses. Just watch this movie. It's about a fake family which promotes products all around their neighborhood.
Wow. Wow. Wow, I'm still, I know that we've had this native marketing for a while. Like BuzzFeed is huge on this, where, we'll have a taste test with McDonald's, and, you realize that it's really an ad for McDonald's. But when they first started doing that, you didn't. You just really thought that they were just, tasting the food to see what it, and I'm using McDonald's, but it could be McDonald's, could be anything, tasting the food or trying their whatever. But this I had not ever heard of before.
Of course, stealth marketing is a new way of marketing. When we're working with my clients, I cannot give you so many names because we have, a secret agreement with our clients. I can tell you that stealth marketing is all around you. We're working with, that I'm writing books. We're working with publishers, and companies put the names of brands inside books, and you don't understand that you are reading an advertisement, or you do not understand that this brand, which is linked with the story, is an advertisement. It's paid by the brand. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah. Well, we are out of...
Just the last thing, if we have 60 more seconds.
We do. We have 60 more seconds.
Okay, perfect. I can now link you the stealth marketing campaigns with the data collection. We used to work for a peer-to-peer ride-sharing in 4 letters. I cannot quote the name. So anyway, let's say that, for example, it's road in 4 letters. So we used to work for them, and it was when they decided, to implement their brand in southeast of France, in Monaco, in Cannes, in Saint-Tropez, etc., etc. What did we do? We paid beautiful women just to go into bars, and these ladies, they came with a dead battery cell phone, and they asked boys at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., excuse me, my battery's dead, can I call a cab with your cell phone? All the guys said, maybe I can drop you off. It was southeast of France, huh?
Yes.
French people. And the lady said, no, that's okay, please, I'd just like to call a cab. So they took the cell phone of the guy, and they said, oh, you don't have this app, peer-to-peer ride-sharing? And they were paid for download the application.
Oh, that's
and use
clever.
It. Yes. And now, Erin, I have my data collection. And I used stealth marketing. I just want to show you that right now, the world is just a giant capitalistic marketing world. We are just collecting data everywhere about you all the time for selling more.
Wow. Wow. Well, we are out of time. Marcel,
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. This is good. But we do have to pay the bills and run some ads. So let everybody know how they can find you and follow you and get a hold of your books.
Sure. So if you want to work with me, it's my agency. And if you don't want to work with me because I'm an awful devil, just read my books.
And what is your website?
Marcel-Saucé.com. And you can follow me on Facebook and, of course, LinkedIn, Instagram.
Marcel Saucé, thank you so much for joining us today. It's always enlightening.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Erin.
Bye-bye. So it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We will be right back.
This election, the voters in the 42nd Assembly District have an amazing chance to finally be represented in Sacramento by someone who listens and cares.
I'm Denny Antoinette Mazingo. Vote for me November 6th.
Denny will reach across the aisle to work with the majority in Sacramento and give voters the voice they've been waiting for and need.
I will advocate and fight for universal health care, a path from college to career free of debt, a healthy business environment with abundant, well-paying jobs, affordable housing for all, safe schools and communities, a transition program for 18-year-old foster care children. Seniors have to choose monthly on what life necessities they can afford, and we're going to change that.
Denny's a former military lawyer, a JAG. She will fight for you in Sacramento. Google Denny, D-E-N-I.
I'm Denny Antoinette Mazingo. I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Denny Antoinette Mazingo.
Drivers, when it's time to visit the DMV, avoid the long lines and save time by calling toll-free 833-DMV-LINE. That's 833-DMV-5463. The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is home to some of the best bargain shopping in the region. Citywear, Style for Less, and Dollar Tree, to name just a few. Friendly shop owners and staff are waiting for you to stop in for the many specials and bargains they're excited to share. The Tri-City Shopping Center is located just off I-10 between Alabama and the Tennessee exits in Redlands. Make it your home for all your shopping needs, and you'll know why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO.com, or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So we have an election coming up in November. And as usual in the state of California, there are a lot of ballot measures.
Yeah, and it gets confusing, doesn't it?
It really does. It really, really gets confusing because, there are so many different choices and I say choices, there's so many things that you're supposed to know about. And I don't know that I necessarily agree with what's in the official voter guide, right? Because that's put in there by the Attorney General, and the Attorney General is partisan.
Yes, and I will share with you that when I was actively involved at the state level with my teachers union, that when we interviewed candidates, and I actually got to be on the panel that interviewed Attorney General candidates, our main focus was getting somebody who would write the title and summary for ballot measures that would be favorable to what we wanted. So we wanted someone who we knew if something came down the pipeline that would be negative for us as teachers, that they would make sure that the public knew that it was negative for teachers.
Right.
That it would be written in such a way. And sometimes those titles and summaries get challenged, and the courts will overturn them and make them write something more neutral. But typically, there's a range of sort of what we'll call acceptable bias that seeps in, and the courts won't change it.
So, if you vote yes on whatever, that the bridges are all going to fall down while you're on them. If you vote no, then there will be, bunnies and rainbows everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
Like, really? Come on.
Exactly, yeah. And, the only thing that I think is truly nonpartisan about that process is the agency that does the fiscal analysis, and they're usually pretty spot on. Like, they'll tell you if this is really going to cost a lot or not going to cost a lot, or oftentimes they'll tell you that they're not sure. Like, they'll give you a range of possibilities, and they'll say, look, there's a whole bunch of potential unintended consequences that could cause this to happen economically. but they usually give pretty straightforward economic analysis. But the actual title and summary of these things can be very biased.
So we're going to be, between now and Election Day, we're going to go through some of the ballot measures with you, so that that we can all understand what's happening.
I like what you did. You found the Cal Chamber website, and they actually have an analysis of a lot of these propositions, and a lot of different groups will do that. And I think it's useful to go to different sort of groups to look at their analysis, right? So obviously, the Cal Chamber is representing businesses in the state of California, the Chamber of Commerce, and so they have an attitude or an approach to looking at these, and they have their list of the ones that they oppose and the ones that they support, and if you were to go to, let's say, my teachers union, I suspect they would have a different list, right?
Probably the exact opposite list.
I don't know the exact opposite, but because I actually think there's a couple of them where they would agree on, and it's always interesting to me when you see groups that don't typically agreeing, but I think it's important to understand that different special interest groups have different ways of evaluating these kinds of measures, and so you have to ask yourself, what's more important to you, right? Now, for me, the one that I think has been getting the most play, at least online, has been Proposition 6, right? And yes on 6 would repeal the gas tax, right? But the folks that that want you to vote no on 6 are saying, hey, the money that comes from that gas tax is going to do all these amazing things to fix our roads and build trains and all kinds of amazing stuff, and it's just going to make California this wonderful utopia, and we can't do without it. We need that money. Well,
I was actually surprised. The California Chamber of Commerce has come out in opposition of Prop 6.
Yeah.
And for them, it's they say it makes bridges and roads less safe, jeopardizes public safety, costs taxpayers more money in the long run, hurts job creation in the state's economy. And so, they want that money coming down to their business members.
Yeah, it's a pass-through tax that will end up a lot of construction companies will get paid to go out and build those roads. But here's the thing, okay? I believe it's a bait-and-switch tax as well, that a lot of those roads and bridges and projects were already going to happen. They're just now going to be paid for out of this tax, and the money that would have paid for them before will now be diverted to pensions and other things.
So it's supplanting existing funding so that those can be used for other things.
Yeah, and they'll do like, it's kind of like what happened when the federal government had their big bailout, right? The state basically there were no shovel-ready jobs. The only shovel-ready jobs were jobs that were already on progress that froze because the state ran out of money. And so now the feds came in. And so, like, for instance, our 215 freeway, downtown San Bernardino, when the construction stopped, when they ran out of money from the state, there were no on-ramps or off-ramps at Inland Center Mall. And so they just supplanted it with the federal money. The project got completed like it would have... it just eventually.
Well, so we are out of time. I just wanted to tease what we were doing.
Yeah.
But people can expect. It is now. We are now at the end of our show for today. I'm Erin Brinker,
and I'm Tobin Brinker.
And have a wonderful, productive Monday, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.